like we talked about last night. We know that, right? We know that, and we already know what's going to pull us out of it. We already know what's going to pull us out of it, is believing in each other. And at the end of the day, man, I'm just so excited to watch you play in an unbelievable environment and just have fun. And I don't say that enough. I don't, right? We sometimes lose track of that because we're all about winning. And I've talked about don't worry about the win, right? It's about just getting there and enjoying the process. And that win will be there at the end of the day. It's just got to find us, and that's what happened last Thursday night. Our play dictated that that win was going to be there for us, that the musket would be there for us. All those things. Man, have fun today. This is an unbelievable opportunity for us. 75 people in this room right now versus 22,000. So to overcome that, the belief has got to be incredible in what we're about to do. And that's all that matters. That's it. That's all that matters. You're prepared, you should be confident, and you should be excited. How hard are you going to play for one another? How hard will you play for one another? Not yourself, not your family, for one another. And that's all that matters. We go out there and execute, we'll find the W. We will. When we respond to adversity at some point, yep, we'll find the W. Do it for each other. There's no special message. We're just going to be Maine football. We're just going to be Black Bears today going to play a game somewhere else. That's the only thing that matters. Don't forget that. Right? Don't forget how much you care about each other, how much you love each other, and that's why we're here. Let's go have some fun today. Let's go.
I'm Mia, I'm from England, and I'm majoring in KPE. Honestly, I just really love sports. Like, I'm really interested in like coaching and things like that, but I just love studying that kind of subject. I didn't really think about it a lot when I was younger. I knew that it was something I loved and that I loved doing. So yeah, as I kind of grew older and all my friends were thinking about where they wanted to go to university, I just decided I didn't want to go to university in the UK, so started looking kind of out here, and Maine had a good field hockey reputation, and yeah, it was really good. I think the opportunity for sport is a lot bigger. Like, don't get me wrong, there were really good teams, and the club I was playing for was a university club. So like, it was a really good standard, but the opportunities just don't compare, and the amount of travel we get to do, like this weekend we're going to Vermont and we're playing like Cornell and UC Davis, and it's just a chance that I never would have had back home. And I know that the amount of training that we do as well just is on a completely different level, and it's something that I wanted to do to really better my game so that I could be better when I come out of college. Yeah, usually, so the club system, you might have 3 teams in a club, so you might train with 3 or 4 goalies, but you only bring one to a match, you only bring one with the team. So I guess it was something I was used to that everyone here wasn't. I started off as an outfield player, but I also played soccer, so I was quite used to using my feet and I just wasn't scared of the ball. So I think one day, like, our goalie got injured at school, and my coach was like, you know, you play soccer, and when you play, the ball keeps hitting your foot, so we're just going to put you in. And then the other goalie never really played again. Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect. So I didn't come on a visit with, like, coming in beforehand, so I didn't even know what the campus really was going to look like. I didn't know anyone. I just kind of came into it with an open mind, and there have been a lot of people, like, on the team who have helped me out, like, just taken me places, and the coaches have been really, like, helpful with the transition, like, settling in. Honestly, the field hockey, like, watching the team and speaking to the coaches about, like, how the team wants to do this year, and the fact that, like, I think we have the strongest team that they've had in a long time, and it's about really making an impact and going places, and that really, like, struck with me, like, being the only goalkeeper. And people say it's a lot of pressure, but I like it, and I like the responsibility of being like, well, I'm the only one, so I've got to do good. We've got to help take the team where they want to be this season. I think for me, having that kind of, being able to step into that role straight away was something that, like, I really liked. I really like the sports facilities, like everything in the field house. It's nice being able to have, like, all the athletes in one place, because obviously, a lot of the athletes have been here longer than the rest of the people that are here for just the academics. So you kind of, like, get to know people in there, and it's a nice place to go away from all the lectures and away from the dorms and everything, and just being able to go and you can study with people who also have the same pressures as you, and you see a lot of people you know, and it's just nice to be in there. It's been tough kind of just getting used to the way things are in comparison to back home. Like, it's nice, like, my roommate is from Holland, so she speaks very good English, but I guess for her there's a bit of culture shock with the language barrier and things. But I think for me it was kind of easier because I moved around a lot when I was younger. So I'm kind of used to, like, coming somewhere, trying to make new friends, like, settling in and stuff. But it's not been too hard so far. I mean, we are only 2 weeks in, but it's not been too bad.
All right, gentlemen, first of all, I'm going to ask you to do something just a little unorthodox. I'd love for you just to fill in, come down. For some of you, this, what I say to you tonight, literally, come on. If there's seats in front of you, if you're already down, come on down.
My name is Rachel Barbeau, and I'm an activist and a sportscaster. I have two silos, as my agent says. I'm a talk show host. I have a brand new show on the brand new network and brand new show on Backroad Sports Network, and it's called The Rachel Barbeau Show. And I'm also a contributor on Sirius. I was the first female host there 4 years ago and host the college football playoff. And I vote for the Heisman. I do a lot of really neat things. The thing that really gets my heart beating faster is the work that I do with changing the narrative. And I started this 2 years ago, and I go to colleges and I talk to young men and women about purpose, passion, platform. How do we view women and how do we treat women? And mental health and who they are beyond the field, who they are beyond being an athlete. And it's been really, really special, to say the least.
You're doing wrong. I didn't come to point fingers at you. I'm advocating for you out there. I'm defending you. When people out there literally, and we know this, and we'll talk about stereotypes a little bit later on, when people say athletes are nothing but a bunch of blank, right? Like, there's lots of different things that people say athletes are. I challenge them. I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you know about the athletes that I know about that are standing up? Where's my athletes against violence, guys? All right, right here, right here, right here. Yes, thank you.
I think with our first speaker this year, Rachel Barbeau, my intention was just to bring somebody in to be able to talk with our guys. She had some history with some ESPN doing some radio shows, and it kind of was relevant to our guys, so they'd be able to connect with that. And also just her message is changing the narrative, and it was really about changing the culture of what is the perception of what athletics is, and mainly it was football for her, but I think across the board for all our guys is how we treat each other, how we take care of each other, how we treat women, and she gave some great examples, and to have her come in here and talk to guys about that, I think it's more impactful than just us talking about it every day.
And listen, gentlemen, for a lot of you, you have been told your whole life you are special. And I'm not here to tell you you're not special. I'm here to tell you there is more to you than how fast you can hit, or excuse me, how hard you can hit, how fast you can run, whatever sport it is, with the specialty in that sport. You are more than your athletic talents. Do you know how many men across the country literally look me in the eyeballs? I was just at Tennessee the other day, and afterwards, this guy, they waited. He came down to me and he had like tears in his eyes, and he says, "Thank you for reminding me that I'm supposed to be more than just my athletic gifts." He said, "Where I come from, my only worth, I was told my worth was tied to what I can do on the football field." Man, there is a reason.
Would probably shock you and shock most people to understand the amount of young men and women who literally believe, more men than women, but that they have been told either by their family, by their neighborhoods, by their community, by their schools, by their coaches, by people, their friends, that their worth is tied to football or basketball or whatever. Let's just use football for an example. How fast they can run, how hard they can hit, how tight they can throw a spiral. And that is so sad to me. And I've had so many young men look me in the eyes and say, "You're the first person that's told me I had worth outside of football," or "You're the first person that's told me I had worth outside of basketball," or whatever sport it is. And for a young man to think that his worth is tied to what he can do athletically, it is just such a disservice to who he is as a human being, to his life force, to his future, to his legacy, to his possibility, to everything that he can be. And so when someone stands in front of me and tells me that, it simultaneously breaks my heart that he's gone through this and thinks that, but it also makes my heart that I get to tell him, shake him and hug him and tell him, we're meant for so much more than just to play your sport. And that, not only that, but just to have purpose. You know, I think that's why we have such a high rate. You talk about the number of NFL players within 5 years being out of the league. It's extraordinary. I think it's like 79% within 5 years of being in the league are either drug addicted, broke, divorced, or all of the above. And I think that is a sign of the times that we have an identity issue with our male athletes. So what I try to do is who are you? What motivates you? What are you passionate about? Because for you, it's something different than it is me.
The other thing that I've learned, somewhere along the way, men, and this is a big one, somewhere along the way, society, people, parents, your neighborhood, music, culture, magazines, somewhere along the way, they have got it twisted and they have told you that it is somehow less masculine, less attractive, less strong for you to just keep it all balled in, right? Somewhere along the way, society has told you that you're supposed to stuff it down, be strong, don't talk about it, that somehow you're not supposed to have feelings. And y'all, I went to Washington State. I was the first speaker there after Tyler Linsky took his life. His coach told me he was always busy patching everybody else up. He never let anybody patch him up. Let me tell you something, man.
You know, I think I keep in touch with a lot of my kings, but I think what we're seeing now is just the awakening of whoa, it's okay to say that I've got some things going on, and I say to them from a woman's, I'm not your coach. You know, if I'm speaking about, I'm not your coach. I'm telling you from a woman's perspective that it's very attractive, it's very strong, very masculine to talk about what ails you, and you could just see the light bulb go off for a lot of them, like, wow, it is? Because that's against everything I've ever been taught in my entire life, that you know, I'm supposed to stuff this down, be tough, be manly, you know, not talk about it. I'm not supposed to have those feelings, and I'm coming to tell them the opposite. So I think it's happening. We're having an awakening right now in a mental health aspect.
Rachel, her message was a little more encompassing all people. So when I saw her on Twitter, followed her as well, researched her, talked to her, people that work with her, and I just thought her message was a kind message. It was, she wasn't preaching at people, it was more, hey, let's work on this together. And so there were a couple others that it just became a little more, I don't know, it seemed more challenging, and I just wanted a nice, let's meet, let's just have an open conversation. And so she was one that I reached out to, and she came.
I mean, at every stop, there's probably 40 to 50 guys that wait afterwards if I'm speaking to a male team or male athletics. And, you know, then just the other night at Maine, I probably had 10 players reach out to me via DM privately to tell me what it meant to them, and how their lives were going to be changed, and how they needed to call family members and say they were sorry, and how they wanted to be a better boyfriend, and they wanted to be a king. They were not a king right now, but they wanted to be a king, and they recognized that. And for the first time in their life, they recognized they didn't want to be a dog, they want to be a king. And so for me, it's, you know, I can talk till I'm blue in the face, but if it's not making a difference, if it's not touching someone, then what am I doing? And when I get those messages, or when the players stay behind, and literally I stayed for like an hour the other night afterwards at Maine, here at Maine, and was happy to, because these are people's lives they're sharing, you know, their stories, their hopes, their dreams, their the things that have made them sad, the things that they need to fix, the things that they want to do better. And so I would be happy to stay for 3 hours.
Bold meets sweet. With Duncan's new brown sugar cold brew, sweetly balanced with brown sugar.
We've been doing business with Hammond Lumber for about 15 years. The most important thing Hammond Lumber gives us is customer service. We have a lot of jobs going, typically 4 to 6 at one time, and we need truck deliveries on each of those once a day. So we expect multiple trucks, which Hammond Lumber delivers on a regular basis for us. The things that are important to me are being able to trust my sales rep, trust the pricing, trust the delivery, and overall trust the service that Hammond Lumber provides us.
You support your Black Bears at the game. Why not support them everywhere you go? The exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings. The Black Bear debit card is free to you and supports the Alphon Fund each time you use your card for a purchase. Just open a Red Wallet account at Maine Savings. Stop into our College Avenue branch or any of our other convenient branches. Show your pride. Make a difference. The exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings. Learn more at mainsavings.com.
Here at T-Spark, the revolution and Patriots are more than a team. They're the foundation of our family tree. Some call it Yankee Land, others call it New England. We call it home. It's not for everybody, but for the ones willing to create a way through, there's a reward. You can't show it off. It's not a trophy. It's a feeling. It's a sense of belonging. It's who we are and what we stand for. We are Fisher Nation.
Look at those guys, triumphing over the afternoon.
Because they went on a Duncan Run and got $2 snacks. Hey, guys. Hey.
The Duncan Run menu. Delicious $2 afternoon snacks.
Coming here in July helped us a lot. We were able to bond because we're all in one house together. We're at a sophomore's house, and they kind of just like threw us in there, but we all ended up getting along, and we're all such good friends now. Like, we don't want to leave each other's side. Like, going to the dining hall, we're like, hey, like, who wants to come? Like, we don't want to leave each other ever, and it's great to have them to just like be there for support.
I think it's easier than I thought, because we like kind of developed like a relationship quickly, and we got here earlier in July. So like I think that let us like get to know each other, our style of play and everything. So
it's been kind of what I've been expecting. I expected a hard like journey. Like this is an adventure for me. And I expected like the transition to be hard, but I actually find it pretty easy. Like especially with a lot of other freshmen on the team. And the team is very helpful with all my problems.
Maine is
kind of like Germany, like where I live, with the trees, and yeah, so it's not that different, but it's nice. I really enjoy it, and the team is, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really easy to adjust as compared to some of my friends who are from Germany, Canada, Sweden. They have a lot of adjusting to do, where it's very easy for me to just go home if I need to, or my parents come up and see a home game, and it's pretty easy to adapt, so.
Coming into it, I was really nervous, especially since this is like my next 4 years, and it was such a big part of my life. And having my sister there to really help me and give me like ways to prepare has been like so essential for me being successful and the team being successful, and just really helping me like transition into here at UMaine. And like with it as well, like having that person that's there for you, that knows you, since we've been partners in crime for like over like our whole lives, so having her here really does mean the world.
Yeah, the center backs in college are definitely bigger and stronger than they are in high school, so having a physical presence up top is really important, and being able to compete with like the older center backs that we are playing in our conference and out of conference. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but talking with coaches, and they give me pointers and everything on what to do to beat my battle with my center backs, or the center backs I'm playing against, like using your body to hold the ball up for your team and waiting for people to make runs past you and stuff is really important. So like we always practice that in practice too, so in games we're always ready.
Yeah, at first, like the runs, I used to like get mixed between midfield runs and striker runs, but now I'm getting used to it. Like they're teaching me how to do the proper runs.
It's definitely a big step up. It's very different in that like attackers are a lot smarter. Most of them are a lot more like physical, so you're constantly having to like be aware of what's going on and tracking players and communicating with your like outside back and the other center back. So it's like a lot. It's like continuously being more focused than in high school. That's like the top of like the week. That's the most like, not the most important thing necessarily, but like the fun thing of the week is the games. And I'm so glad we're playing 2 games every week, because at home we only play 1. Yeah. So playing 2 games is hard, but it's so much fun. I've really enjoyed being able to play soccer for like transitioning to college, because it's definitely a good like outlet when you're a little bit stressed about what's going on. You can just play and forget about school, and then also like having upperclassmen like help you out with not knowing about like what's going on in classes, or like not being sure what you need to get for class. They always are like really helpful with like any questions you have.
Hi, I'm Claire Fogler. And I'm Avery Fogler, and we are from Stonyville Dairy Farm in Exeter. Do you have a picky eater at home? Can't get them to eat their vegetables? Why not try a smoothie? Just combine 1 frozen banana, 1 cup blueberries, 1 cup frozen spinach, 1 tablespoon honey, 2/3 cup of milk, and 1/3 cup of plain Greek yogurt. Blend and enjoy. Ready, set, fuel up.
This copyrighted telecast is the property of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, under rights granted by the University of Maine. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or any part of it without the express written consent of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, is prohibited.